Hi friends, today we will discuss about data integrity part 2. In my previous session, I discussed about this data integrity in part 1 about what is a data integrity, what is the importance of data integrity in our pharmaceutical industry. So in part 2, we will discuss about what are the breaches, those leads to data integrity problems, and what are the regulatory guidance or expectation for the data integrity, and what are the controls those we can implement in our system to control the data integrity problems as well as these issues in the system. So before going to our topic, quickly go on that what is a data, what is a raw data, what is a metadata. Data. Data is nothing but the facts or statistics collected together for a reference or analysis, that may be text or numerical or a symbol or image, etc. And raw data is nothing but the primary data that we collected from the source, equipment or instrument, and we are documenting that in our manual record or a computer system. Example, our batch production records, analytical raw data sheets, log books, these all comes under the raw data category. And metadata. Metadata is nothing but data on another data. Data talks on another data. It will give you the relationship from the raw data. Example, our audit trials and units of measurements, gram, milliliter, or microliter, or liter, or temperature, degree centigrade, or percentage humidity. These all will comes under the this one metadata category. And breaches. Actually, during their inspections, this regulatory bodies, US FDA, European agency, Japan agency, they identified some gaps. Those leads to identity problems. Those breaches they given as an example, like predating, post-dating, improper documentation, empty space in the documentation, illegible documentation, and password sharings, and changing the papers and pages in the logbooks or records, and doing multiple trials in the analysis, number of injections, and repetition of the analysis until passing the result, and improper investigation of the OOS, and kappa not implemented effectively, and so many cases like this. Number of examples they have given as like breaches for the data integrity. So to avoid those all, the regulatory bodies they given some guidance document also. You see, MHRA in 2015 they have given a guidance document on the data integrity, and the US FDA they have given a guidance document in the year 2016, and European Medical Agency in the Annex 7 they given one guidance document for the data integrity in the 2016 August, and PICS Pharmaceutical Inspection Cooperation Scheme they have also released one guidance document about the data integrity, and WHO also released one guidance document about the data integrity. You see the importance of data integrity. Most of the all the regulatory bodies they given the guidance document about data integrity. Why? Because this is very much important in the pharmaceutical industry. So as per this these regulatory bodies they given a guidance document, like the data must be ALCOA plus. What is A, what is L, what is C, what is O, what is A, and what is plus we will discuss now. So we are following this ALCOA plus, then there is no chance for the data integrity breaches or problems. So what is A? A is nothing but attributable, any activity, who performed, when performed, why he performed, on what basis he performed, that information should be comes under the documentation. That is the reason we are giving each and every activity, we are performing a sign along with date and time stamp. And one more, you have to suppose any editing or is there anything you did, that should be proper documentation on what basis he did, like that we have to maintain some attributable information, like our article will come in this section. And the legible, the document for what purpose? The document for a reference purpose. The record is for reference purpose in the audits or in future any reference audit we have to show to the auditor. Whether the person is there or not, it is not at all a questionable point. The document will speak to the auditor. The record will speak to the auditor. What happened exactly? How the manufacturing process has happened? How the product quality came into picture? These all will reflect in the our records, our laboratory notebooks, our BPRs. These are so that is the reason the document, the record should be legible. The data should be permanently durable medium, and it should be recorded in a legible manner. Everybody can read the data. That is nothing but legible. And third one, Contemporaneous is nothing but online entry. At the time of activity performed, we have to complete the documentation immediately, instantly. Why? Because suppose you have taken some time lapse or time gap during this contemporaneous entry, what will happen? There might be chance for a biased decisions, selective reporting, and some other person can influence you. So that is the reason we should not take any time for doing this documentation. You have to record and document your all the records and readings immediately. And the fourth one is originality. You have to show the information, whether it is a original information or a copy of the original. You have to maintain the true copy or original copy. You have to maintain the clarity in that regard. And one more example here, suppose you have written 1.5461 like this, means what? It is just a number 1.5461. There is no meaning for this. Suppose you denoted with this 1 gram, then it is nothing but one of the substance weight. This information is nothing but original. Your balance is showing along with this one unit of measurement, then you have to capture as it is. Suppose temperature 15 degrees centigrade, you have to copy as it is in your record. There is nothing but originality. And next one, accurate. Accurate is nothing but error-free documentation. Without any error, you have to implement your procedures in your activity, and that activity you have to record without any errors in the records. This is nothing but accurate. Suppose during your reviews and verification, you identified some gaps. You should not go for a correction or a modification. Otherwise, if you have to go for a correction with a proper justification, without any proper justification, proper amendment, you should not go for correction of that errors in the documentation recording. So this is about ALCOA. Now we will discuss about again plus. What is this plus? Plus again divided into 4 sections: complete, consistent, enduring, available. Complete is nothing but what? Suppose in your analysis, suppose you did some reanalysis or some other reanalysis repetition you did in the analysis or in manufacturing some rework, reprocess you are doing, then you have to maintain all the information in a single bunch of data. You have to maintain that link. That is nothing but complete. And your records or documents, there should not be any gaps or any empty spaces. You have to complete the document with proper justification. And consistent is nothing but you have to record your data in a time-stamped manner, in a sequential order, and everybody should follow the same practice forever. And third one is enduring. Enduring is nothing but ensuring when you are doing documentation or recording a data, that format should be approved data format. You should not use any loose words. You should not use any unauthorized papers for the documentation. It is very much important. And last one is available. So what is the purpose? These are data, records. What is the purpose actually finally for a future reference that will only reflect our quality of the product, that will only speaks about the quality of the product. So the record of data should be available or accessible for a certain period or a life cycle of that particular data. It's very important. And the auditor, whenever they ask any document, you will have to produce within the fraction of minutes, like that you have to produce. So easily accessible, easily available for the auditor. He can able to know the manufacturing process and the quality, how you tested the batch, how you manufacture the batch. Everything will speaks in the audit itself. We don't want to explain to the auditor. The data will speak to the auditor. The data will talks to the auditor. It will give every information, the quality, efficacy, safety of the drug. It should be reflected in your records. And this is about simply breaches. What are the breaches of data integrity, regulatory guidance or expectation? And now we will discuss about finally controls. What are the controls we can put in our system to avoid these data integrity problems, mitigate these data integrity issues? There are mainly 2 types of controls are there. One is administrative control, second one is system or engineering controls. Administrative controls are nothing but training or awareness to all the people in the organization and know the laws. Each and every person should be aware with the laws of the data integrity. They should know, suppose I do a data integrity issue, then what is the consequence of that data integrity? They should know, they should be aware. And you have to build a culture in your organization, quality culture, data integrity culture. They have to feel like ethical. We are working in an ethical company. I should not do any malpractices, misleading activities. I should be truthful. I should be honest like that. Everybody should feel in the organization. And and one more, knowledge management programs. You can implement number of knowledge management programs, training programs to aware on the this data integrity principles. The next one, system or engineering controls. As possible as maximum, you have to try to go for an electron system if possible, and the automation in your production, and enabling of auditors in your all the electron systems, and if possible, e-signature. You can go for e-signature for analysis as well as review and operation of the production operations. So when compared to this administrative, more effective, the system or engineering controls more effective. So we have to try to go for a automation electronic in the way of electronic conversion. So this is briefly about data integrity, breaches and regulatory expectation, and what are the controls that we can implement our system to control the data integrity problems. Finally, one single statement I want to say you: do what you write, write what you do. This is simple panda to avoid these all errors in the documentation. Uh, I hope you will understand my topic, today's topic, data entry part 2. If somebody not watched my part 1, data entry part 1, please watch the video and you have a better idea about this data entry complete information. Thank you for watching my videos. Uh, Please subscribe my channel and like my videos and forward to your colleagues and friends. They will have some knowledge. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.